How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to the Cosmic Ray channel. I'm your host, Cosmic Ray. Tonight, or this morning, it's about 4:30 a.m. I still have not gone to sleep from the previous night. I got off work really late, and it's just one of those moments where I just felt inspired. And I just want to say that, how many of you love the rain? I'm what some call a pluviophile. That's pluviophile, not pedo, okay? Pluviophile. Someone who finds comfort or calmness, if you will, in the rain. Sometimes we feel just like with empaths, it's like it's our way to just calm ourselves. I find my most enjoyment times, my most inspirational times, I find my most happiness, besides like having something else that just makes you happy around, or something material, that is the one thing that's natural, that when I see or I'm in that experience, I feel a tremendous amount of happiness and joy. I feel with the rain itself that it can, and which you can do this too, to help ground yourself. But for myself, um, it's just like when you shower. You feel dirty, just for whatever reason, life, you go in the shower or whatever, bath, whatever it is, right? With water, help cleanse your body, right? Whatever it is. And I feel the same way with the rain, but just in a different sense. I feel like even when I'm having a bad day, a horrible day, when it rains, it brings so much joy. And I feel sometimes that, I know that this is going to sound crazy, and that's fine, because I'm sure I will find myself a little strange, unusual, right? Or unusually strange, as I like to say. When I'm very sad, sometimes I know it rains. Now, I know it's a very egotistical thing to say, and because it's not necessarily me, I feel like there's not just that, but with this collective consciousness, there's probably a lot of people that are sad at some given point in time, right? So when I'm sad, at some given point in time, I'm sure others are as well. Maybe they're like myself and like you, that when this happens, you may start to realize when we're all sure that whatever experience that's happening, we're all probably sharing it at once. Not the same exact thing, just something that's just for that moment with all of us, and we're just getting hit every single time. And maybe together we're manifesting that rain. Because maybe a lot of us, or a lot of you that are out there, could also be pluviophiles as well. And don't get me wrong, I mean, obviously if you're in a spot where it gets flooded, that's not cool, when it rains a lot, right? Or if you have to do a job or outside, and when it rains, it's gonna suck, and it's not a great thing. So I can totally understand why someone does not like the rain, okay? Totally get it. I would not like it, probably have a change of perspective. I was born, in I think I'm sure I've told most of you guys, I was born, in Washington, in Seattle. So of course it rains, right? And especially when I go and visit and it rains, it's just a whole new level of just my vibrations. Anyways, over here where I live, in the West Coast, I love the rain, and a lot of people can't drive in it. I love it. That's probably the only downside, is if I'm in traffic in the rain and everyone's going slow, which is okay, to be safe. But it's, sometimes, as you may know, you can't obviously drive too slow at times, because that can also, cause accidents as well. So just obviously keep your safe distance. There's my public service announcement. Anyways, so when I go out in the rain, it definitely grounds me. It helps it helps wash out the negativity of life. Obviously, I can go in the shower, but this is a little different perspective, because I think this is Gaia. This is natural. It's just a different perspective, different type of point of view. And for me, it feels great. It just feels like it's like washing away everything spiritually, of any negative emotions, negative auras, anything that's like attached to me, just starts washing away. And I embrace the rain. I like go out, not like, oh, it's raining, but I'm like, oh yes, bring on the rain, kind of moment. And I do feel at times that when I get truly sad, even if it's supposed to be a raining season, but it wasn't raining that day or that whole day, or no one on the like either news or anything predicted that it was supposed to rain. But when you get that sad moment, or where you're just like, oh, I need something, like validation of whatever it is, for whatever reason, then all of a sudden, bam, it starts to rain. I love it. And as I was doing a video right before this one, I was having this I just had this thought, right? And kind of my own, I know it's dumb, but kind of validation. And you don't need validation. You know, that's the whole point. Just be you. For whatever reason, you don't need validation from me. You don't need validation from anyone else. Just be you. And but whatever moment I was getting trapped, you know, in that moment, and I feel like I needed some validation, you know, and I started hearing something in the video, or I'm sorry, while I was doing the video, I heard something like I paused. Probably looks dumb, you know. People were watching like, why do you do that? I paused because I thought I heard it, and then yes, and now it is raining, and it just brings me more joy. I wanted to go to sleep, but now that it's raining, I just wanted to talk about it and just to share it and just to know that, you know, I love the rain. I also want to talk a little bit about certain things now I'm feeling great. I can be able to talk about something without letting this negative energy, you know, overcome me by talking about something negative. Because sometimes, you know, if you do keep talking about negative things, even if it's something about your day, like try to spin it, turn it into something positive. I know it's hard, but if there's a way you can do it, that vibration, you know, or that energy can kind of like pull you down even more into collective or a karma, to pull you down more into other energy that's very similar to that negative energy, and keep you trapped. And if you're able to spin it in a sense to try and make a life positive and get used to it, you know, little by little, not saying every moment, everything has to be positive, or changing your negative into a positive, because you could be like, oh, someone died, turn that into positive, right? You know, you can't do that. You know, the only thing I can think of is that, you know, like a lot of people say, they're in a better, you know, they're in a better, you know, world or reality now. Better, you know, they can watch over you, or they can go back to source, or they can do what they need to do on their other journey. And that's, I know it's a tough pill to swallow. Anyways, I don't want to go there. So there are times when you have negative things, and it's always, I feel personally, it's okay to talk about it if you need to talk about it. You know, it's just be careful how many times you talk about it and who you talk about it to. And I would say, for me, sometimes when I talk about negative things, I feel like I'm reliving those moments because you're talking about it. You know, a lot of empaths, we take a lot of things, you know, we wear our heart, you know, on our shoulders, on our sleeves. My heart's somewhere over here where you can just grab and just crush. You know, it's just one of those things where you feel every moment. So for myself, you know, I like, it's like as if I'm replaying it like a movie reel, just rewind, play, and while I'm talking to someone, like I'm reliving that moment, and play, rewind, play, and you know, it's hard. So I try not to talk too much about negative things that happen. You know, if it's something bad, yes, you can share those moments. You know, it's okay to share experiences, because why some people start asking me, and I was afraid to share, and some people start asking me, you know, about certain things, and you know, I tell them, I'm surprised, and this is totally me being judgmental, me being an idiot for judging them, and they would come back with some like epiphany type blank, and I just think like, did that come out of your mouth? Like, no way. Like, no way. Of all the things I ever heard you say, there's no way you could have said something so profound. But of course, that's me being an idiot, right? Or maybe that's just source, or maybe my spirit guides talking through them, you know, back to me, you know. Anyways, I guess that doesn't matter. But you know, you'd be surprised. So I'm not saying it's not okay, not okay. It's just be careful how often and how, because you don't want to be trapped. Because sometimes what I'm trying to say is that if you keep talking about that negative stuff, thoughts become, you know, words become certain thoughts become, you know, truth, if you will, or becomes your reality. You start speaking things into manifestation, into your reality. You want to be careful. Now, on the retrospect, you know, or in the other aspect, you can say other things, and maybe in so far it can go into better things, like, oh, like positive affirmations, and you know, like, oh, this will happen, or this is going to happen, or this is happening, kind of thing, versus like, oh, only when this happens, or oh, sometimes when this, or oh, if it only, you know, it would be nice to have this, only if the economy was this, only if that was this. You know, try to not talk too much like that, because then that can just, it's like pour on the, like, you know, when people say when things are going bad, you're like, oh, what else could happen? Or, oh, okay, anything else go wrong? And the universe is like, oh, your wish has been granted. And then bam, you know, some more negative stuff happens. And you're like, oh, it can't be more worse than this. And like, oh, universe is like, oh, what was that? You felt excited about this? The energy is high when you're saying, you know, something negative. Oh, this person this must really want this. Bam, your wish is granted. Because in your mind, you're like, no, that's not what I want. I don't want that. No, who would want that? But your energy level, think of how much energy you're putting in to something negative. So sometimes this universe is like, oh, well, they must want that. Bing. And when you have these experiences, you'll know what I'm talking about. At first, you won't think of it like that. At first, you're like, no, this is BS. Why am I in this experience? Start blaming other things, start trying to rationalize what's happening, and then it's hard. But the best part is when you start catching it early on. And you're like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I heard some crazy guy, heard some guy on YouTube saying something about when this starts happening, try to catch it off, early on. Be like, you know what? I'm just gonna let that go. Just let that go. Not saying that, not learning from the experience. You are still learning from the experience because deep down inside you'll still learn from that experience. And then you'll start to think, okay, I'm gonna have positive thoughts, and then you'll start to spin it in a sense. Not spin it as in it's a BS kind of spin, but more of a positive spin. Like someone yell at you at work, or you got into it with someone at work. So saying, you know what, I appreciate this universe for teaching me or allowing me this, so then now I know how to handle this situation now, or at least for the next time. Or at least gives me, or you can say something like, at least it gives me the idea of how other people are in this reality. That that gives me this experience and this joy, or maybe this appreciation or profound experience to know that maybe this is how someone else is, or maybe this is how they see the reality because they had a different way of growing up, or different way of seeing things, or a different perspective on the situation at hand. And it gives you an idea of not just saying like you have to be right, well maybe they're right too, or just just kind of just change it up a little bit, to not just have like this very reactive type of mind, but just to kind of just pull it, just take a step, or just slowly start learning to take a step back and just saying, you know what, try to look at a third person perspective. Like, let's see how that would be. If you kind of look at life like that, maybe you may have different experiences or positive experiences. And I know most of us are trying to manifest money and just, have it come out of nowhere. But until we can do that, not saying that we can't. So when we're able to do that, now we're doing that. Today we're doing that. This moment we're doing that. So it's just one of those type of spins, And I know this was supposed to be something about rain. But like I said, this was something easier for me to talk about negative stuff without absorbing all this information that I'm saying and keeping that, inside me, as in this is some dark, deep stuff that, helping not manifest good things or positive experiences of life. Like I've said before about when someone cuts you off at the moment, just, kind of take a step back. Then maybe they are in a rush, maybe they did do a D-bag move, but maybe, just maybe they really had valid reasons for it. Or maybe they're just being a D-bag. But you know what? Doesn't mean that your life has to accept everything that they do, but just realize they're a D-bag and you're not. And you're better for the experience, and you're able to be that much stronger of a person. I know that sounds really great to say, great to hear, and it's really tough to put in perspective, or to put it into practice. But I have had many fights. I've had many things in life where it truly, truly, truly took me a long time and a deep understanding to know when people say the bigger man walks away, or being stronger, don't let someone take your power away, or don't let someone bring you down into their level. I didn't really understand that. That was just something cool to say, or something you see on TV and whatnot, or in the movies, and no big deal, like, oh yes, be positive, blah 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 blah. It really truly took a lot of experiences to actually realize and say, wow, it really is actually hard trying to walk away and not wanting to beat the crap out of someone, even when you totally can, and they're just being a punk B word, punk AB. And it is really tough. It is really tough to hold your tongue. It doesn't mean you need people to walk all over you. It doesn't mean that you can't stand up for yourself. You definitely can. There's different ways of doing it. You guys got this. But however, in the rain, give me this profound experience, this great joy to be able to share this with you, with all in this collective, to be able to know that this vibration for myself, I want to share with you this, positive energy, of life, and just let you know that we were all trying to share our best wishes out there and send out that positive vibes. Try to, even when we meditate, when we start thinking of good things, I am very grateful, to have all you into my life. I'm grateful for you even watching this video. Whether or not you find this resonating, which obviously I would love, if you do resonate and comment or even share it or you're liked, like this video. However, I'm just grateful that you're even watching this. Something just expands your mind just a little bit, even if it's just a fraction, of whatever you know. Even if you already knew about all this and you're like, great, dude, I already know about all this. Now I've actually found someone else, that knows all about this. And that's great because we're all trying to share this, this experience or journey, if you will, of life. So Cosmic Surfers, I wish you all good night. Let me know if you're a Pluviophile as well. Also, thunder is always great too. Gray clouds or gray skies are always good. Don't get me wrong, sun's always good too, but definitely find those good moments for myself. Let me know how you guys' experience is going through, and wish you all good night. Much love as always. So positive energy to you guys. Sweet dreams, Cosmic Surfers. Stay on those boards.